Greetings and welcome to your Oracle message for the day. I am Kat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless, so whenever you come across this video, however you come across it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. You are looking for clarification or guidance, confirmation on something you're working through, and this is just one of the messages that's going to be coming to you throughout the time that you're working through whatever you're working through. So welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. For new friends that have not been on the channel before, what we do every morning is pull one card randomly from our mega deck. And you can look down in the description below for more information on that. But for returning friends, you guys know what we're doing, so I'll leave it at that. Today's card is pulled from the vintage deck. It's like 1997, so long before 1993, long before there was digital stuff going on the World Wide Web and all of that. These photographs from this deck, which is called Your Angelic Messengers, are photographs of various plants, various flowers in particular, as being messengers of the angels, that messages from the angels can be received when we consider and meditate on, contemplate on the images and the messages that are coming to us through the images. And like I said, this is a vintage deck, so if you notice on the image in front of you, it looks a little skewed. It's not really, it's just the cards are not straight anymore. They have been, how many years is it now? 30 something? Yeah, kind of like that. So in any event, we would all look this good when we are that old, right? So in any event, it is card number 15, representing self-worth. And before we get in the book, and I haven't actually looked at the book to see what the reading says for us, and it's an extended reading. This is the workbook that I'm using specifically has an extended, it's like a teacher's workbook. So I wanted to be sure I got as much information as possible that I could relay to you guys for direct images coming to and through me from divine realms, channeling, reading, however you want to call it, as well as what we've got available to us in the book itself. So before we look in the book, let's just talk a little bit about the card. We've got the number 15, which we know reduces down to a 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is the middle or the second of the 3, 6, 9 perfected Tesla numbers. 6 is a very strong number. 6 is a very powerful number in all religions and philosophies across the planet, across the timelines. You can get more information on that online. I'm going to let you guys research that if you have any interest in finding out what all the different meanings of the number 15 as well as the number 6. I invite and encourage you to do that. I'm always telling my listeners, anyone that comes and visits the channel, don't take my word for anything in terms of being the definitive answer. I am human. I am doing my best to channel faithfully and, how do I want to say it? Clearly, with clarity, with love, basically. Any information and messages that are coming transmitted through me from when I start the readings. I'm sorry, this is sounding very broken up here. When I start these readings, before I turn on the recorder, I've pulled the card and I just sit in meditation for a little while and I consider what is coming to me directly. When I look at the card, I see I think it's a gardenia, really. It looks like the waxy white-ish. But in our picture here, we've got very strong pinks and reds coming in. So I feel this is very strong base chakra energy and obviously self-worth. If you have not yet explored the Authentic Self playlist series on this channel, I encourage you to do that. It is not complete. I am still adding more material to that. But I think we've gotten through possibly the throat chakra or the heart chakra for sure. And in any event, we have definitely gone through the base chakras, the first 3 chakras. And the energy I'm getting with this card is very strong base chakra energy. And of course, we know, if we've done any research at all, or if you've gone through the series so far with me, on my channel specifically, Your Authentic Self, we know self-worth is the very first, it's identity. It's the first dimension. It's when something first comes into being and has its own identity separate from the collective cosmic identity consciousness. Okay, so how we think of ourselves, how we define ourselves is very much the first and second chakras, that base and sacral chakra. So make sure that you are doing your work to keep those chakras just as aligned, just as strong, just as clear as any work that you're doing in the divine realms with your soul star chakra or your crown or third eye. Sometimes we can get a little kind of hyper focused on getting divine information, and we forget that we're earthly beings and we need to be paying attention also to our earthly vessel, our physical existence. That is, after all, how we move through this reality, is as physical beings. We're not little plasma balls, drifting around. Not this time, at least. We may be that in a future lifetime. That may be how we manifest, but not right now. Right now, we are little physical guys, and so what we think about ourselves physically, our self-worth, is going to filter and define everything else. So, the question that I have for you, and let's be honest, okay? You don't have to answer me, but you do have to answer you. You have to answer to you. You are accountable to you. And you're responsible for your life. So my question for you is your self-worth strong? Do you know who you are with certainty? Do you go through your life feeling like you are presenting yourself honestly, truthfully to the world? Are you being honest with yourself? Your self-worth is not defined by what you have done in the past, your history. Your self-worth is defined by what you've done with those lessons, what you've done with the information that you've gathered, that you've acquired through those experiences. Bad, good, happy, sad, whatever. Okay? That's how you build who you are. That's how you know who you are. By going through those experiences, gaining those experiences, gaining the experience and the information, the wisdom from those experiences, your blessings that are in lessons. So this is a very strong energy of being grounded, being centered, understanding. And I've said this innumerable times on this channel. You are important. What you do matters. You matter. Every single one of us. It's like imagining the ocean without the water. What would happen? There would be no ocean. We would not exist. This reality includes you. So there's a reason for that. There's something you may not even feel. I know I've talked to a lot of people. They don't feel any particular leaning one way or the other in terms of, their goals, their plans. They don't really have any. To tell you the truth, that's the majority of people on the planet right now, is they really just kind of walking around sleepwalking, not understanding that what they do, what they say, what they think, what they feel is not only creating their world, it's impacting everybody else, because we're all connected. We understand this on the quantum level. We understand this on the spiritual level. It's just, science is just catching up with what we have known all along. There is a consciousness to the universe. You can call it God, Goddess. You can call it Allah. You can call it Buddha. You can call it Brahma. You can call it anything you feel is true for you. That's the point of living your authentic life and being your authentic self, is understanding you don't have to call whatever that is that you are connected with. You don't have to call it anything in particular to go along with somebody else. Call it Allah when you are, working with your Christian co-workers at work. If you're Muslim, by all means, don't feel like you need to shade your truth to not ruffle other people's feathers. Now, we always keep in mind the old Wiccan Reed, and it do no harm, do what you will. As long as you're not harming yourself first, because self-harm hurts everybody else. On the other side, if you are hurting other people intentionally or accidentally, it's going to hurt you. There's no two ways about it. What you do affects yourself personally as well as everybody else. So what you are doing is of primary importance. You are important. Not overly, not more than anybody else. I'm just as important as you, and you are just as important as me. So what does it say in the book for us, for our reading for today? For self-worth. Our present, and this is going to have several sections, I'm going to read them off to you. Our present challenge is the ability to hold your inner balance and to respond to others from your own self-worth. You have drawn this card to help you recognize the times and the ways in which you give away your inner power. You better listen to this. This is important. This card suggests that you need to strengthen your feelings of inner confidence and self-worth so that others are not so easily able to break down or deflate your sense of well-being. You are entering, or may already have entered, a series of experiences to help you test your own ability to hold or reclaim your power. This card is suggesting that you will do well to make sure you stay in your own power, even when others have expectations of you fixing their lives. Your angelic message. Self-worth is the basis for spiritual advancement. When you accept your own natural capacity for love, compassion, and gratitude, you are unknowingly accepting the same qualities in God. You are a mirror reflection. You are a mirror reflection of the divine presence. You may recognize that you often feel lost or deeply lonely when you are in a relationship or not, or even when you are with your other friends. You are feeling the pull of your spiritual roots, of us, your angelic teachers. We were with you before you were born, and will be with you again when you leave this life. We wish to remind you that your loneliness is your spirit's desire to grow in its capacity to know the sacred presence. The divine holds the ultimate capacity to preserve and increase love and self-worth in your life. And it is through this expanding capacity to know God that you come to know yourself. Your search for self-worth is also humanity's search. As you are propelled through circumstances to help you claim your own goodness and ability to further goodness on earth, you move slowly toward the awareness that your life and your talents are best used in service to others. You and the Creator form a bond, and this bond is recognized by you as the means of loving yourself and honoring your own unique qualities. When you feel alone or disconnected from your inner goodness and perhaps your inner assurance of a caring God, look up into the sky or over to the mountains or the blossoming flowers in the garden. Assure yourself that you are not alone and that all of nature seeks to find love. There is no need to struggle with life, only to begin to know your own value as a reflection of the sacred in all life. Your spiritual opportunity. The guidance coming to you through this flower image shows you most dramatically the contrast between the inner and the outer, between the beliefs you hold and those that are universally inspired, that determine the ease with which you accept your life and are able to transcend physical challenges. Because self-worth is a stepping stone to self-love, you can continue to create your image and your life of love so that it reflects a deepening capacity to hold love for yourself, for other living things, and for the divine presence. Relax your fears and spread your goodness for all to see. Explore what you believe. Look and listen to the inner vocabulary you use with yourself and others. If you want to change an external part of your life, then you are first required to change the internal beliefs that hold these patterns in place. If you want others to respond to you or your work in different ways and with more appreciation, then examine your expectations for your work and your efforts. When you believe in yourself, chances are others will find your worth and value also. You are becoming more capable of holding your own value while at the same time encouraging others. You may have felt competitive or jealous of others in the past, but you are increasingly striving to accept that your life has ample opportunities for success. You are responsible, primarily, for developing your own spiritual capacity. And yet, along the way, you have ample opportunity to help others who are also shifting their perspective to awaken their own self-worth. Application. Use your spiritual beliefs and tools of understanding that accompany these beliefs in your everyday life. Try this energy exercise in any circumstance in which you find it difficult to express your true feelings adequately or to capture the attention of others long enough to convey your meaning. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Release. Imagine a broad, white band of energy surrounding you and the others around you. In doing this, you are drawing forth from everyone their truest wisdom and intention. You're also maximizing each person's ability to absorb what is truly meant rather than what was only spoken. This exercise works in extraordinary ways with any number of people. You'll observe in the dynamics of the group that each person exhibits a greater sense of honesty, vulnerability, and sensitivity. Well, I love that. That's awesome. So yes, for sure, what we want to always remember, everything that we are doing is important. There is no inconsequential thing that you do. You are not inconsequential. How many times have you, if you've come to this channel more than twice, you've heard that from me in the past. There was something I wanted to. That's the problem with there's a lot of material in here, there is no need to struggle with life. That's the one I wanted to capture. There is no need to struggle with life, only to begin to know your own value as a reflection of all sacred life You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean contained in a drop. You carry the wisdom of the collective within you. It's available to you whenever you want it. It's also being transmitted. You are being transmitted. We are always transmitting, all of us, 24/7, 365. There is no time where we are not vibrating unless we are dead. And then we are still vibrating, just in a different way, on a different reality. Not physically in the 3D. We get released. So there is nothing that you do that does not make a difference. Everything you are doing makes a difference. So regardless if you have some big thing that you feel that you are called and led to do, that you've been working on, something that's going to change the planet, maybe environmentally, it may be sociologically, it may be energetically. I don't know. You're the only person that knows. But regardless of what you think your mission in life is, it's simply to be yourself. So that means if you're a comedian, normally, if you find the humor in things, that's a gift that not a lot of people have available to them. You want to always be kind and make sure that your humor is never taken at the expense of anybody or any kind of circumstance at all. But if you find something genuinely funny about something, share it. Who knows? Maybe that may be the trigger that starts somebody else thinking about new resources, new opportunities to move things into an even more loving, more positive, more joyful, more peaceful situation for everybody involved. And then just remember, every time we heal anything, a relationship, a situation, an environment, we are raising the healing on the planet. Globally, we are healing. Universally, we are healing in this dimension. Flat out. So it's important. What you're doing is important. And I am so grateful for you for doing that hard work, for getting it done. So carry on. Understand how important you are. You are no more important than anybody else, but you are no less important than anybody else. So if you have somebody that you kind of idolize, not necessarily idolize like you're worshiping them and or anything like that, but if somebody that you admire, somebody that you look up to as a mentor, as an example of, if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. That's absolutely true. If anybody can do something, you can do it too if you wanted to. That those people that are out there getting gold medals at the Olympic Games, you could be one of those people if that was something you felt that you were led to do, that you were called to do. So even if it feels like it's something selfish, you have to remember people are watching what you are doing. They are watching how you live your life. They are watching your example, and they're going to follow it, whether they mean to or not. When you're driving or when you're walking, don't do this when you're driving, please. But if you want to just do a little experiment in your house, just walk down your hallway, but don't be looking at where it's straight in front of you. Look to your left or right and see where your feet go. They follow where you are looking. So make sure that you are looking for the things that are bringing benefit to you and to everyone else, that are bringing healing and love and light and encouragement and support. Those are the things that are going to build your self-worth, and they're going to build everybody else's. And that's how we heal the planet, by healing our identity of who we are, knowing we are so strong in who we are and where we are going and who we are becoming, that nothing is going to stop us. You want to find out what consistency means? Look at the Grand Canyon. That water didn't just like pound its way through. It slowly through accretion managed to carve out that immense rift in the earth. That's the power of consistency, and consistent self-worth is what's going to change this planet. So no small task for us. This is a big deal. So that's our reading for the day. I do hope it resonated and blessed you. I'm not going to apologize for the length. These are always long from this book, and there's a lot that is very, very important for this idea of self-worth. I cannot emphasize it enough, but I'm going to stop here just due to length of time. I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.